Welcome back to part 3 of the You Guys Comment the Decks, and we'll talk about them. The next segment for this should be on Monday, as long as everything goes well. So if there's something I haven't covered that you want me to talk about in the current metagame, the floor is open. All you gotta do is comment, like this video, show me that you guys like this style of segment, and we'll do it. I like doing these, probably do these every month, because I honestly think engaging with the metagame is a fantastic way to learn. So, let's dig on into this chunk of 5 more rogue decks, and why they're not doing so well, shall we? Alright, so the first one we're going to be talking about here is Metalfoes with 3 super polymerization. And somebody commented this and asked the question of, Robbie, what do you think about Metalfoes with 3 super poly? I do like the idea of Metalfoes as a whole being able to abuse super poly, because Alcahest, I believe, requires an effect monster. I believe that they have one that's over 25 or over 3,000 attack. It's one of the two. I think it's Crimson Might. I don't know what the specific is on that one. But you have, I don't know, Electromite is Pendulums to me, but that's besides the point. So basically, you have this deck that has an already consistent engine built into it that can actually abuse Super Poly, because being able to resolve things like Alcahest and engage with the opponent is pretty good. Also, I mean, you're a very solid rounded engine with being able to pop your own scales and get Metalfoes fusions, which, I mean, is pretty good. But the problem is, Mithrilium and company all require you to basically be a slower deck. Playing going second Metalfoes just seems kind of bad. I like the concept here, I'm not gonna lie. I think that it's really cute, and there are things that you could probably do to make the deck a little bit better, but there's something about Metalfoes that is just too slow in the current format. Though, I guess I do like the idea of super polying off of the opponent's monsters, being able to kind of take advantage of the in-house monsters that you have to kind of disrupt the opponent, which, I mean, generic things like that are incredibly good, but ask yourself, to what point are you trying to win the game here? So that's just my 2 cents. I like the idea. Not much else to it, though. So if anybody's got a Metalfoes list for super polys, I'd very much like to profile it. So, send it to me on Facebook. I'm genuinely curious. Number 2 on our list here is Mech Knight Invoked. Now, this is an interesting one, because this deck actually won a regional this block, and it was actually first place in Swiss. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Mech Knight Invoked got first place at an event, and that's not a bad thing, I mean, whatsoever. But why did it get first place? Well, nobody wants to play around their columns anymore. Like, players will set up things in the same column. I mean, that's not like the main reason why they did it, but like that's a big thing I see at events. Players just set up just to get Mech Knight, and it's hilarious. But most players are like, cool, I'm going to opt for first. So taking advantage of all of the decks in the format, opting for second, and then just being able to go invoked column, or Mech Knight column, and then just drop the Perka Trio at the end of it. And plus, if your opponent asks you, you've got the free monster to Perka Trio them. This deck, the reason it is so good is its consistency rounds out with the explosive engine of Alistair. And I really can't stress enough how frustrating it is just literally losing to our friend Mr. Perka Trio at left field, because you just don't have an answer for the onslaught of attack over. Like 4 to 5 monsters, setting up these big boss monsters. Perka Trio is one of the cards that actually punishes overextensions, and it's kind of hilarious to me that nobody really is prepared for it. When it happens, it happens. Like, that's literally Mech Knight Invoked in a nutshell, and it's a shameful matchup. It really is, but that's what life is like, guys. So just be aware that the deck exists, and it's won a regional, and man, it's a rogue pick for the format. Let me tell you what. Now, next up on this list is Blackwings. Now, the first thing I want to tell you about this is the only real successful things I've seen come out of this deck at anything was last format, and we were pairing the deck with Workist. And you guys have seen Literally all the Orcus memes. Gale plus Bora is full Orcus combo. That it is. So here's the big thing about this. I don't want to take anything away from the Blackwing engine as a whole bit. Gosh dang. Everything in your deck is a dark. Everything allows you to kind of combo off, do your thing. Plus, I mean, being able to pack this in with an Orcus combo and in on full Armor Master seems pretty good to me. The best thing that this deck has to offer literally is full Armor Master. Being able to drop a 3,000 on the field that unfortunately Boral Sword kind of destroys is kind of an issue. Blackwings have gotten a lot of extenders in their day. I mean, Simone being able to set up the Whirlwind and then set up for combo is really good, but I do think inevitably that playing the Orcust engine is kind of what the deck has been destined to, or doomed to become now, and that's really shameful because like I wish Full Armor Master would actually be better than it is right now. But this deck definitely loses to Nibiru. The deck definitely loses to a lot of the problems that really the other decks are losing to. And the deck is just one giant kaiju magnet. Like, if you've imagined somebody main decking kaijus, it's literally for the Blackwing deck. But Pure not going to get the chance to do so much. Infused with the engine of the Orcust combo, yeah, I think that that's, if you want to go that way, then you use the in-house locked on dark and then just take advantage of the game and win through standard means like that. Like, that's my 2 cents. Like, the deck is literally an Orcus deck though. So now next up on this list is Witchcrafter. Now, Witchcrafter coming out of the UDS, we saw that one rogue build that went through and bopped everybody. I mean, it finished, what, X2, I think it finished X3, actually, at the end of the day, and everybody was just unprepared for it. If you told me that there was going to be a Witchcrafter deck playing, I'd be like, I don't even know what the cards do. I guess for the basic part, everything's a Lone Fire Blossom. The spell cards are limited, but they do have Rhodas, and the deck did look to, well, I mean, it's a spellcaster deck, so Secret Village is your friend. Like, let's not discount that much for Witchcrafter. That's one thing I will give the deck. Seeing consistent spellcaster monsters, being able to put Madame Ver on the field and have yield Secret Village backing it up is not a bad thing. Not at all, but the problem is you're still a spellcaster deck. The effects are limited in the way that they are for the once per turns, which, like I said, I just don't think that the deck is degenerately good enough to get the chance to do anything. You have to rely on those floodgates to get there. Now, I mean, Nibiru's Dark Willow No Mores, we could hear another resurgence story. We could see somebody run it back again, and I could be eating my words. Oh my gosh, Witchcrafters, tier 1. I do think as a very fun rogue deck, yeah, Witchcrafter gets you there, but having to spend $60 on 3 copies of Creation, it's not worth it to the average player to play this as a rogue deck. Like, financially, it's just not worth it, man. Like, so much neg, like, in terms of that department. Then the last one here, highly requested actually, is zombies. So here's what I can tell you about zombies. You have the freest win against Pure Thunder. You stick that zombie world on the field, your opponent should probably scoop up his cards and proceed to the next game. That's kind of what it feels like. Against Crusadia, it's a little bit more, it's like, what, 70-30 in favor of Crusadia in that matchup, and you know, zombies just kind of lose. Zombie World can only carry you so far. Your Sky Striker matchup, from everything that I've ever seen with the deck, usually interruptions and Widow Anchors are enough to stop you in that matchup, so it's not so good. Altergeist have a pretty decent matchup. If you build a board, Geist are just going to grind you out. So conventionally, my issue with the deck is, yes, you have one free auto-win matchup, but how much Thunder is going to be in today's metagame? How big are your Boulder Drock boards going to be? Like, you can only play around so many Shark Cannons, I feel. And I mean, yeah, Boulder Drock is good in other matchups other than Sky Striker, but I don't know, man. Like, to me, it just, the power ceiling, what you're trying to do, it just, I feel like other decks do it better. That's honestly my opinion with zombies. Like, I get what they're trying to do. I get that comboing off Mizukis, Glazukis, one unit zombie essentially starts your combo. But Boulder Drock can only carry so much. Same thing with Zombie World. So, but I'm sure somebody will hit me back in the comment section and be like, Robbie, you don't know what you're talking about. Zombies are better than that. And I'll be like, well, we're the tops. So that's why we make these videos. So guys, what do you think about the metagame? What do you think about these choices? I'm very curious to see a Metalfoes list, though. Guys, please leave a comment down below to what you guys think, and, well, catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.